Okay, hello. To the next panel. It's called The New Frontier Entrepreneurship and Business in the AI Age. We all know that AI is a very hot topic right now. Actually, everyone wants to use AI in different ways. Probably most of us already used one time ChatGPT or different chatbots. So I would like to introduce our guests. Nafis Faysal is an AI entrepreneur and AI engineer with 10 years of experience working with Citibank, a hypergrowth Silicon Valley-based startup. He's the founder of Headshotly AI, Vosu AI, TalkGPT app, and the AI content creation platform CopywriterPro.ai, with expertise in AI agents, programmatic SEO, and business strategy. He has also contributed to projects for NASA, Google, and Mattermost. We also have Ahmad Piraiee. He's a venture builder dedicated to transforming startups and scaling businesses from concept to global success. With over 20 years of experience, he has played a pivotal role in mentoring, advising, and accelerating companies at all stages. We have also Natalia Nogacka. Natalia is a marketing and business strategist passionate about AI and entrepreneurship. As managing partner at Bootstrappie.ai and former CEO of Colabi, she helps businesses scale and innovate using AI to drive growth and navigate its impact. And also Igor Lyubashenko. Igor is an expert in applying AI to research, professor at SWPS University. He has over 10 years of experience in social studies, particularly in qualitative research methodologies. So I will start with first topic, which is actually using AI and launching new businesses. It's a thing that we see more and more often.
You start very deep.
Yeah. So let's start with you.
That's punishment.
Yeah. So the arrival of generative AI has created many new business opportunities. AI allows companies to automate many tasks and reduce their costs. AI is now often involved in creating startups, from automatically writing business plans to performing detailed market analysis. So my question is, in what ways has AI changed the initial stages of running a new businesses the most?
I would say AI boosted everybody's ego more than anything else. I think that's one of the best usabilities of AI. It's like before nobody knows anything, and then right now it was like, so what do you think about the quantum physics applications in mathematics? And I was like, good question. Give me a second. So I usually compare generative AI with GDPR. It's like everybody heard about it, but nobody knows what it is. But still, they put it in the business because otherwise they run out of business. That's perfect metaphor for me. So, how many of you guys know what is generative AI really? I know you guys, you're in the panel, but I was just more going on that side. It's so weird because one good thing that happened to generative AI is that before our washing machines were AI powered, but now they're a little bit less savvy to put AIs on them. But still people think if it doesn't talk to you, then it's not generative AI. So that's why I mentioned you went too deep into the conversation, because I see a lot of people that they think that they're using AI, but they're just using 2 algorithms, 3 algorithms on top of each other. Yeah. And because somebody sold them as a package of AI. Yeah. So if you ask them, they say that we do. I can give you another perfect example. My dad had a very good watch, and he just ran out of battery, and he went to this repair shop to fix the watch. And then the guy fixed it very cheap. And then he came back, and the watch was like super old Omega, and it had like a calendar next to it. And then it stopped working. The calendar wasn't working. So we went there, and he said, no, it's fine. Went to another store, and then we saw that he took the engine out, and because the engine was super small, he pasted the part that it was about the calendar, just cut it over, so it doesn't really work. So that's how I see a lot of things. Like these days with AI, people take the engine of the company out and they put something in it. And as long as you're not an engineer, as long as you're not a clockmaker, you don't even know that your business does not have an AI in it. Because what most people use AI is, as I told you, they think AI knows more than them. And more than anything is, I really would like to have your opinion, because I see too little academics behind AI, and that's really scary. Because if you're an MBA person, you get a beautiful content from AI, and then because you're very good with presentation, you share it to people that this is AI, and because people are not good at presentation, nor they know the content, you crush them under your ego, and that's why they say, okay, so I don't know what you're talking about, so you're right. But when I see people that they know behavioral psychology, they know research, they know computer science, and they talk about it, I can just breathe a little. So to be honest, I'm a little bit scared about statistics. That's why I really don't want to answer you specifically, because I would say most of the data that I see there are not real, because there was a time that Lipton tried to put their stuff on blockchain and then everything went up, but Lipton was not on blockchain. And the same thing that right now also a lot of companies that they just change their domains to .ai and they say we are using it, but they're really not. But also, to be honest, I don't know if there's any organization that they really check if an organization is doing it or not. So I don't want to give you a populist answer. I just want to tell you that don't trust most of the statistics as you see with the number of usability of AI, because that's not true. In the world of computer science, there is no such a thing as AI. If a company is just using image recognition, and they were always doing that, image recognition is a part of something that you can say that that's a part of artificial intelligence, but nobody ever went to like an X-ray machine and they had image recognition and say that, look, we're AI-powered X-ray machine. No, they just have an image recognition. They always had it. But now the market is so flooded with misinformation that I don't know if anybody can answer you.
Actually, that's a great point, because right now the part of marketing strategy is just put AI label and people will buy it, so yeah.
It's a new blockchain. That's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to do anything. Yeah. You just have to say that we are on blockchain. I don't know what blockchain is. You don't know what blockchain is, but I was like, if you're on blockchain, I'm going to give my money to you. Yeah.
Okay. But still, I think that's this, let's say, family of AI. It's, of course, machine learning, deep learning, and all this advanced stuff. And but still, I think that these tools helped many business. For example, if data analysis, process automation, customer service, or even some
maybe
sometimes
they overhelped.
Maybe they overhelped. So
because I agree with what you said, and I also feel that the problem in the market right now it's a little bit different. I'm a marketeer myself, like coming more from this side of the business, like business marketing combining with the product understanding. So I'm not having the AI per se engineering knowledge. But what I see is that AI helped in general. Well, it lowered the entry level. So basically more people can create the technology right now, like can create the businesses. And we are ending up with lots of businesses which are solving problems that don't exist. And like I'm going to the conferences and I keep seeing AI, AI, AI. Like I've been to Web Summit to Portugal, and my co-founder was in Barcelona on the mobile conference as well, which is quite big. And we had the same like summary after this, like, did you understand even half of it? Like what they're actually doing? Like what's the issue behind it? Like I could see lots of like really smart people that touch the technology and they have no clue what to do afterwards. So like I feel like that creating the marketing strategy with AI is possible. We can, just write down everything in the ChatGPT. But people have no clue how to execute that because they don't even start with the validation afterwards. So they are just there and they expect people to buy it straight away, but nobody needs it. So I feel like you can automate lots of different things, and automation has been with us for 10 years at least? We're talking automation, not AI. So there are two different things, and I feel like now everybody is expecting to hear that you are doing the AI, but what does it really mean though? So,
if you don't mind, I'm going to make it very quick, but I agree with everything you say, aside from the validation part. The generative AI is very good at validation. The only thing is that entrepreneurs don't go that far. They just write the job description, and I was like, next question, please just ask, is there a market fit for my product? And the answer is definitely no. But you don't go that far. And another thing that you also have to just, not people in the panel, but the AI can tell you whatever you want it to. If you say, let's play a role, and I am dumb, and you're dumber than me, and now let's try to explain to me what is 2 + 2, the answer can be 4.5. Because you are creating a scenario, you're creating a workspace that is supposed to be for fun. And that is the space that people will think that if I will ask a question, and because AI is smarter than me, so the answer is better. So, especially on the market fit, they are not even asking it to make it happen. Otherwise, I would totally agree, but it will kill the idea by itself. But I say, you know what, this is good enough for my investor to look at it, so let's just stay on that part.
And that's also a huge issue in Poland per se, because we have lots of people that they are coming back to the same events asking for money, asking for the investment. And that shouldn't work like that.
My point of view on building business right now with AI is a little bit different, like what you guys are saying, that there's a lot of AI apps, there's a lot of founders who don't know exactly what they're doing. But the things, because I'm building couple of solutions with AI, and the first things I'm doing is talking with the users, not instantly, oh, there's an AI and I want to build something with AI. It's not something like that. The approach is completely different. Okay, there is a problem, and can I solve the problem with AI? Because there is a lot of problems we need to solve in a automation way, but we couldn't make the decisions. We need to do a lot of things extra, but now AI can make the decisions because there's a lot of data users are providing to us, right? And the second point, the startup ecosystem, it's everywhere. It's so brutal, Let's say if I create a business and if I really don't talk with the users or I don't know about the industry, I wouldn't be able to sell to anyone because there is no market for it. So the people who are, let's say, just adding AI and saying AI in their business, mostly one of them, but a couple, majority of them have knowledge, industry knowledge, and they are solving the problem in a different way because previously we solved in a let's say in a different way. And there's people who are very excited about AI and they're just adding AI, but they don't know exactly what they are doing. But the market defines the people because market is brutally, aggressive on these things because people are paying their hard-earned money. So you definitely have to have that benefits from that solutions so that people want to use it. People want to talk about it, like ChatGPT or other tools.
Okay. My turn, yes. Okay, so my perspective here on this question is definitely slightly different than yours, for the very simple reason. I'm not myself an entrepreneur, I'm not a startupper. I work at the university, and this second organization that I'm associated with, EGO, it means Evaluation for Government Organizations. So this is a private company, but we work with the government. So we are contractors of the government organizations primarily. And over the last 2 years, so it started obviously everybody started speaking about AI. We started investing our time into understanding how it works, how it can be used, and we actually started also sharing this knowledge with primarily ministries of different kinds, but also some private companies as well. So this is my perspective. when you ask what AI can do, okay, maybe one more thing probably to address what was said before. Definitely, I think AI is overhyped. For the very simple reason, AI is with us for a very long time, but we don't really think about it. Other question is whether it is AI, but let's put it aside. This is a philosophical question. But there are machine learning algorithms which decide, for example, how the schedule of trams. It's not the person. It's not the person who decides this thing. It worked for many years already. So there are jobs that were already displaced by AI for many years. Nobody thought about it, but simply because we have this technology that is very easy to access for everybody. Now everybody is excited with AI. So going back to the primary question, when you ask how AI can help with probably starting a business, my first thoughts are not going into an AI-driven business, but rather even something very simple. You know, you start a shop somewhere or maybe, I don't know, coffee shop in the neighborhood. You get something actually beautiful if you know how to use it properly. You have a bunch of almost quite good assistants who can help you if you approach it properly. You don't need so many people to start your business. You need somebody who is good at operating with all these language models, who is able to control whether the output is okay, and you have copywriting issues, you have many different things. It depends, of course, on the kind of business that you are doing. This is something that we quite often don't think about it. And also, well, in our business, what I see over the last year, actually, we stopped thinking about engaging junior researchers, for example, because it's easier, sometimes cheaper, and faster to do such small things with AI, unfortunately. And this is fortunately, unfortunately, maybe we'll go back and maybe we'll talk about ethics and all this stuff a bit later. But yeah, my point here is that now there are new tools that make it much easier to start any business, not only AI-driven business. But there are also caveats. It's not so easy. It doesn't look like many advertisements. You just open and you just do it, and everything will work for you. But probably we'll go back to this later.
Can I just have a room temperature here, if you don't mind? Is there any AI engineer here? Because I also feel that we're almost, yeah, so that's the issue. So border of economics and IT. Okay, so a little bit. So because I think there is a misunderstanding here. So I was teaching since I was 19, so I'm usually good with like putting very simple things that everybody will understand things. Overcomplicating stuff is the worst. So what I always say is as follows. If you have a washing machine that put everything in it and you press the button and always is 60 degrees, that's a stupid washing machine. If you have a washing machine that has a machine learning algorithm in it, if you put different amount of clothes in it, it just adjusts the water and the timing. If you have a washing machine that has an AI in it, it throws the clothes out of the washing machine and says, I told you don't go to gym on Tuesdays. So this is a difference between the stupid washing machine that only has clogs in it and the washing machine that has some algorithm in it and the washing machine that properly has an intelligence in it. Because the moment that you ask the washing machine to wash my clothes and say that, yes, sir, that is, as you mentioned, it can be a deep learning or a machine learning depending on the level of what we have in our databases. But what we talk, unfortunately, most of the time about AI is populism, as we have it in everything. Is like you watch like presidential debate, and I was like, I didn't like this guy because I didn't understand what he said. And I was like, so what do you do? And I was like, I sell potatoes. I was like, yeah, but that's political science. Like, he's correct, and the other one is just talking about, I don't know, like, making more chickens, and that's not what a president will do. And I was like, yeah, but I understand that part. So if we don't understand things, sometimes it's because some stuff in AI is very high level. I would say very generally, if you really want to know what AI is doing, is decision making. And I'm not saying that's what AI is doing. I'm just saying this is what everybody says AI. Like when you say making like more companies because the process of facilitating decision making is faster. But I wish that was really what AI is doing. When you just see that, like, you have protein sequencing, you see gene sequencing, that's really what AI is doing. They sit down on billions of data, and they learn how to formulate it, they learn how to fix it, and then they pass it to you.
Yeah, okay, well, fully agree. Just what I mean, these generative AI tools, as they call it, they are accessible for everybody, okay? And most people don't really think about the technicalities of it.
I can even say why. Because this is being run by you guys, not by an engine. If we don't use generative AI, the algorithm cannot learn by itself, because these algorithms are empty. It's more innocent and empty than a kid that just comes out of a mother's womb. It doesn't know anything about anything. If you guys don't play with it, it doesn't learn. And the moment you make a mistake and you interact with it, it learns. So the reason that you guys have access to generative AI is not because anybody likes you. It's because if billions of us do not play with it and we do not even know why we're doing what we're doing, those people that they really use it would never know how to benefit from this. So I'm not kidding, guys. You have to be paid to work with ChatGPT. Like,
the recent developments says that AI deals with the correct outcome with bias and... I'm sorry, there is this thing. The recent developments say that AI deals with biasity and something like hypnotic element. Yeah, this is...
Yeah. So, as I mentioned, because AI doesn't really know anything. Like, there are these issues in machine learning that, for example, if you ask an average AI to draw a clock for you, it's always 10-10. Because in the commercial photography, every time you want to promote a clock, usually the place is 10 and 10. That's the most beautiful way you can just show a clock. And that is why AI is being run by billions of clocks that they all 10-10, and then maybe a few that the others. There are very beautiful articles. If you really want to have fun, just read about the effect of cat videos on AI. Because there are way more cat pictures than anything else. That is why most AIs are basically being trained by cat videos. And with all due respect to all of you, if you're underage by porn, than anything else. Because that's what you can find on the internet. The other way around, fingers are the worst way you can learn anything with AI. Because the moment that you take pictures, AI learned that this is a finger, and it's just one, and this is a finger, and this might be either a very big finger or a small finger. And because of that, it's very hard to train fingers, but it's way easier to train cats. It's way harder to train clocks. And the worst part is, I'm a part of the European Union's ethics in AI, and we have mind-blowing conversations back there. There is no such a thing as ethics in AI. Because either you have to have Christian values or Muslim values. There are, tribes in Africa that they believe that if you just, would be faithful to your husband, you have to be burnt. If you would make your AI out of that ethics, then after that, even Europeans have to do the same thing. And if somebody in Croatia just say that, I don't believe in any clothes and everybody have to be naked, then you have to go to every country that say, according to the AI, nobody has to wear clothes. So it's very hard to really just put philosophy and AI into one panel and finish before 10 hours. This is a conversation that I would genuinely say that this is a huge issue. And you have to remember, we're centralizing our decision-making in AI.
But it depends on input always, yeah?
I mean, you are the input.
Okay, well, I think we're just talking slightly about different things. I fully agree with what you say. I mean, there is no, I think, kind of misunderstanding or what. What I'm trying to say, the majority of people probably will not understand all these technicalities. Even if you will add it to educational programs and so on and so forth, probably, you have a chatbot, you put something, you get it. And the majority of people will actually use it like this. And despite all these facts that you've mentioned, it can be useful. It can be useful both for the ones who create the models, definitely, so, yes, but if I am able, I mean, if I'm not a good writer of, selling to sell something, I'm definitely not a good seller, saying that myself. But now I have a tool.
You work in academics, so...
Yeah, well, now I have a tool. Yeah, by the way, this is something that I literally can use it right now. Quite often when you have to write a proposal, grant proposal, you describe it in a very academic way, but then you also are asked to write 1/2 page of popular description what it is, yeah? It's something that you can do quite often in every business to sell something. And now you have a tool that you can use quite easily, yeah? That's essentially what I'm trying to say. So, okay, but probably let's...
Just one quick comment on it. Does everybody really needs to know how exactly ChatGPT works? I don't think so. Because in business, what we are providing is value to the people. And when, let's say, for example, your cases, you want to do some research, right? And you want to hire a junior researcher. So you don't really need to know.
No, I think to some extent, it's like, I like the analogy of a car. Probably it's good to understand how the car works, but it doesn't mean you have to be able to construct it on your own. But if something goes wrong, if you are going to somebody who can fix it, you are in a better position to say, okay, what's wrong?
I mean, that's the basic knowledge.
So yeah, basic knowledge, I think, but technicality is, of course, nobody will understand the mathematics behind ChatGPT.
Yeah, and not everybody needs to learn that, technical part.
I mean, the engineers behind AI do no longer know how the AI works, just to be clear. But your question is very scary, to be honest with you. Because I hope you guys know how to use this. Because if you tomorrow talk to your husband or wife or your kid and was like, what am I going to eat? And then you just put it in ChatGPT, you might kill a few people. Because this is your assistant. And if you think that what it comes out of this, because it's intelligent, I can rely on this, it is going to be catastrophic. So I really hope people will do. Because otherwise they will act on something that knows mathematics better, but it doesn't know that my kid has an allergy to or something.
I mean, that's why
really scary.
That's why we have this. That's why this generative AI is so good, because of this reinforcement learning. Because we are validating all the time, fine-tuning the data, right?
Oh no. In generative AI, the moment that you manipulate your data, then it's not generative AI.
I mean, you can manipulate, of course, right now. But the way it's the learning and the way it's becoming advanced day by day. Just think about it. 3 years ago, you can manipulate that you could be this XYZ actor, and you can, take some bad things from that AI knowledge, right? But if you want to try to manipulate, you have to work really hard. That means AI is improving. We are advancing this. We are learning from the mistakes that we are, going through, and. In the futures, I can literally see the AI advancement that they wouldn't at least give you the recipe that will kill you. They will have that knowledge that, okay, if I say X and YZ mix up with this food, it could be really, bad for the health or something like that.
I think we just keep talking about ChatGPT. We're not talking about AI and about the AI usage in different tools, like how you can make efficient, data analysis. You're not doing that through the ChatGPT. You have different tools which are using AI. And then it's completely different process. I'm using on the daily basis 7 different tools which consist AI, and they are not ChatGPT. ChatGPT is my assistant. Exactly. And they only know as much as I can give him, and he's making so many mistakes. But if I give it to someone else and they don't have my knowledge, they won't know he's making mistakes.
Yeah, just one more comment. So 5 years ago, I was so frustrated because I'm so generalistic in marketing, business, technical knowledge. And now I have the foundations. That's why I can communicate with the AI so good that I can be expertise on every single field. And that's the power of AI. And the way is business right now, or let's say founder are using AI is mostly work quickly. For example, there's a new terminology right now going on, the vibe coding. So you are just saying to AI that you want to build this and this and that because you know how to write the code. So you can really organize way saying to the AI, you have to do this and that. So AI can make really good output. But if you don't have that foundation knowledge, it's really hard. You cannot just ask and say, okay, just make me this and AI will give you the good output. We are not there yet. Probably maybe in the futures, AI can take that little bit of context and create a better output. But now you definitely need to know the basic and foundations of that knowledge.
Okay, I would like to go back to the issue of decision making. Let's say if one day AI will be so advanced in decision making based on, for example, data processing. Is it possible, in your opinion, for example, that what are the limits of human ego in company management?
So, from my point of view, that AI definitely can make a better decisions even right now. But can we really rely on AI? I don't think so. Like, yes, of course, we are taking a lot of inspirations. We are taking a lot of data that AI providing to us, and who are making the decisions? Of course, we are making the decisions, and yeah, AI is influencing us. But if we don't have the knowledge on particular field, I hardly, rely on AI decisions. I definitely go to the expertise and asking about it. So AI is definitely helping us making the decisions, but of course, backed. We have that expertise. That's why we can validate that, decisions that is giving us, say, follow this X, Y, Z.
What about risk assessment? You have knowledge risk, input risk, and output risk.
Well, like you have the foundations, right? You have the you are this.
Knowledge, and if the response is relevant, it's good. If not, it's rubbish.
I mean, of course, there's a lot of time. It's hallucinating. It's a very common problem. AI is hallucinating a lot. But you are the decisions maker. You as the stakeholders.
Today, there's no problem with hallucination, and there's no problem with bias.
Hallucination is not a problem. Hallucination is a feature. If you don't mind, I would just categorize it because that's a little bit bring you back to your answer. There are machine learnings and reinforcement that we discussed it. This is not really an intelligent. This is just a process. And then you have a narrow AI. A narrow AI is what you have in ICM in Warsaw. So this is a part of Warsaw University that they basically do weather forecast. If you ask if this is blue or green, it doesn't know because it's only an intelligent that works with weather forecast because weather forecast is really complicated. So it's intelligent in one area. Then you will have multi-purpose AIs, meaning that, again, this AI doesn't know everything about everything, but then if you will just say, what am I going to wear? It just goes back to the other part that understands the weather, and it understands you, and it makes a decision. These things till now does exist. And then after that, everything I'm about to say doesn't exist. The other one is called the general AI. So if we would have a general AI, then it would be very complicated to even, I have to very politely ask if you are an AI or if you are a human, because there is no way for me to understand that, because everything that you feel as a human, that person or that thing, I mean, right now we have to talk about the pronouns of like really what to call that person that is also next to you, can be exactly like you. But there is the tiny issue, because still we have this idea of you have a feeling, and you feel that you exist. But even if you would... No, I appreciate that, but that was a general idea. But I'm just saying, in that sense, you still don't feel that you have consciousness. You still do not think that like you do exist. And the last part is and it can happen. So I'm just going back to your question. It's like, because we can have tomorrow, we can reach singularity. And the definition of singularity is that there is not human. And by the way, in SWPS, there was this conference, and I was on the first edition of this, was as a speaker, that it's like humans are robots. And they started it way before the hype of even like this whole AI happened. And there's a whole different conversation that why we stopped talking about robots, because before everything was about the robots and the danger of robots, and now everything is about AI and the danger of AI. That's a different story. But the moment that you reach the moment of singularity, it's impossible again to answer your question, because in the moment of singularity, we and AI are the same. Meaning that there is just a super intelligence and intelligence, not an artificial intelligence. It's just a matter of the fact that I have one PhD, but an AI has PhD in everything. It's just a matter of the fact that there was a time that you could be a philosopher, and philosophers had the knowledge of everything, but now we have so many fields that even if you have a PhD and a postdoctorate, still you only know a very narrow topic, but an AI knows everything about everything. And then what you do, you just put a neural link in your head, and then you technically join the cult, because otherwise we're going to be below the level of those people.
So decision making, yes. Well, I think I personally, well, once again, I think we have to simply distinguish between what is called here generative AI and machine learning and different other classic AI, if we wish. Because, well, in fact, as I've already mentioned, we have systems in which decisions are being taken automatically, yes? Traffic lights, a good example. So the question is which kind of decisions we are talking about. If we are talking about, you know, these everyday decisions that to run some processes smoothly, you can automate it, and and I think it's actually good.
I mean about decisions strictly connected with business. I mean management,
yeah,
or something like
this
that.
Kind of, you know, even the bigger is the organization, the smaller the decision maker has. Actually, if you think about it, opportunities to take a decision quite often, because how the structure of decision making often looks like, you have several layers of these managers, and the highest person usually gets some options, yes, but who creates these options? Whether these are people or whether there is some system, there is, what I'm trying to say, there is, even right now, without AI, there is no full autonomy. Of course, well, as a CEO, you have a possibility to say, no, I don't want these decisions, I want something else. You always have this option. But yeah, I wouldn't myself trust if the decisions that are given by AI. However, I think it is quite viable to I don't know, something like consultation, because quite often, actually, because it kind of knows, yes, whether it knows really, it's a different question, but sometimes it actually it is very helpful in, you know, give me some other options and take a look at what other options do I have. But probably, as the question says, I think we have too big ego to give this decision making to AI. Although, well, I'm not a psychologist myself, but at SWPS we have a very big psychological department. If I talk to psychologists quite often, and I recently, well, tending to think that we as humans, there is, by the way, quite a big research on it, that we don't really have. We use our rationality to rationalize the decisions that have already been made, but not to make decisions. There is quite significant literature in this, but so who knows? Yeah. But yeah, probably we're going too philosophical.
But philosophy is a big part of AI. Like, I would say, guys, if you really want to do something in AI, don't study AI, study philosophy. Like 99% of innovations that right now are happening inside AI is out of philosophy. I mean, I would say borderline, I would even put behavioral science as a part of philosophy, but philosophy might be the most, it is. I mean, I studied behavioral science, so I can say something about that, but that's also the same story. It's just because, like, when you say, I don't trust it, I understand you, but still, like, as a figure of speech, when we are in a building and we call the elevator, I'm not sure if you guys know why you call the elevator, because you just press the button. Because in the beginning, there were two types of people. I'm scared of this funny thing that goes up and it might fall down, so I'm going to take the stairs. Second, were people that they will have a human being inside the elevator. You will call the elevator and they'll say that second floor, please. They will do this because they wanted to make you feel comfortable that this is not going to fall. But then gradually that person get out of the elevator and was like, still I'm calling the elevator, but I'm not because I no longer worry about the new technology. Like you should be way more scared of me than AI because I'm a human being. I might just have a beer, but hopefully it's still AIs don't have the beer. Like even if you guys really know what hallucination means, hallucination is creativity. The moment that you really would like to have a specific article, and this is about neuroscience, you don't want that to be a creative answer. You want the number of the neurons and the number of the, like the activities that are happening would be exact. You put the heat to 0. But then you say, write me a poem, but please be 100% rational. That cannot happen. So you give this the heat, you give this the quote-unquote hallucination so that you will see a level of break of the pattern to make it happen. But if a person with a left brain and a right brain is either too creative or too rational, you cannot randomly go to a person and say, look, I want to have an opinion from you, but from now on, be a little bit more rational or be a little bit more creative. A person, it is what it is, but AI is better than this. Especially if you go back to psychotherapy and psychology, and I really wish somebody will talk about this. Please, if you don't have anybody, and in this country, because Catholicism and because of all this dogmatism that is happening around these things, please, as a therapist, talk to the ChatGPT because it's better than a lot of other things that comes out of this. It's so empathetic. It is way more quote-unquote human than anybody I know.
Okay.
I really trust it.
Even weather forecast is from the 60s. Automated weather forecast.
Okay, and
I mean, psyche in psychotherapy came from Catholicism. It's a science of finding the spirit. So it was all goes back to the way back in Catholicism that they were trying to say that there's a human, that there's a spirit. And as long as we are doing life sciences that is about the human body, we have to learn the human psyche. Like sometimes we really forget how much sometimes, especially Catholicism and Islam and Judaism, they brought science into our everyday life. So there is no psychology without a bias. You either have to believe in Jesus or Moses or the other guy. And this is a new guy. But the only difference in this context is that it doesn't take a look at the color of your face or, like if you have a cross or not and then try to answer you. So I 100% agree with you that there is a bias. But unfortunately, when you come to psychology, if I'm a Freudian, person, or if I believe in Bern or another psychologist, or I believe in like different class of therapy, I'm always going to do what I do based on my own biases towards you. So in a sense, the only thing that I can say you can do, and I would say also going back to what you said about why we're talking about ChatGPT and OpenAI, is most AIs are wrapped AIs of those companies. Like there are like 10 companies that they do this. And then after that, if I am good at therapy, I can put my own therapy methodology, I wrap it inside those technologies, and then lower the biases that you really have in mind. So if I would be you, I would say that I would not directly go there and work with ChatGPT with my therapy, but rather find a person who is a good therapist and wrapped the ChatGPT so that those biases would be lower. But still, I would say that even ChatGPT is great.
a really great conversation came out from the decision-making topic. But okay. In January, CEO Sam Altman of OpenAI wrote on his blog that we believe that in 2025 we may see the first AI agents join the workforce and significantly improve company performance. What do you think? Is it a part of a marketing strategy or real thing that we'll see this year?
My experience, I already have more than 60 AI agents right now working for me. Like, it's not even like those AI agent is working for me from back in 2023. So I definitely agree with that point. 2025, there would be more AI agent that would be integrated in business, integrated in decisions makings, and there's a common misconceptions like people are saying automation as in AI agent, but this AI agent should have the independency to make the decisions based on the criteria that based on the business, definitely, of course. I completely agree with that point, and definitely we are seeing a lot more AI agent that is integrated in business even right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we are also having our own AI agents, but like the thing is, and we are still not there yet to give them like the whole decision making part, because I mean they're still learning. So someone needs to check if they are not making mistakes, because then AI agents won't be the ones to blame if the client won't be happy with the results. We will be the ones to blame. So until you're not sure that they are completely capable of making their own decisions based on what you taught them to do, then they are basically not ready to do everything. But you can at least give them some parts of it, which are, you know, helping you in your daily job as well. So automating like lots of different processes related to the data, related to, I don't know, talking with the clients of our clients, whatever, with their outbound strategies, whatever it's that. Like you can automate lots of things, and AI agents are perfect for that. But then if it comes to the decision making, I'd say that it takes much longer to actually train them properly.
Yeah, and like 90% of the like let's say it even save your 90% of your time of work time. It's a lot, and you can do a lot more. Business. You can do a lot of things. You can spend more time with your family. And I have been recently reading Bill Gates' comments that he's thinking about that in the future the workforce will be like 2 days weekday work, and the rest of the time we'll be spending with our family, friends, and whatnot. So I can literally see that AI agent is coming, and this is real. Of course, the decisions making period, we are not there yet, but it's helping us a lot.
Yeah, okay. If I like, first of all, fully agree. Probably these are not, at least the systems that we have. I wouldn't call them maybe agents in the sense that they don't, take decisions, but some repeated actions which require some cognitive work can be automated, definitely. Yes, and they are automated. However, going back to decision making, I don't trust them fully, and at least I have to revise the outcome. But still, it is much less work. Anyway, if I have if I take student, for example, to do this kind of job, probably it will take the student much longer period of time. But anyway, I have to revise it. I will not trust it. But the difference is that with time, I will eventually trust the student. In this case, maybe new, better models will also change it. So far, right now, I rather have to be careful. So yeah, we're I think going in this direction. Whether it will give us more time, I'm doubtful, because like instead of having 2 projects, now we are having 3 or 4 projects at the same time. So time is probably not more job can be done in the same time, definitely.
Okay, and who should be responsible for the decisions made by these AI agents? Company, or let's say department of AI agents in the company?
Like, definitely the people who are making the AI, they have to be very transparent about the data, how they are training, how they are collecting the data, what's the biasness of it, and then when they are clear about that, the next phase is who is using that technology. Of course, we are using it, and we of course have to that that ethics to use it in a good way, not in a bad way. So if then let's say we are using it in a bad way, of course, that is our, as a user, it's our fault. I don't see that is the company fault, because company is doing their best to safeguard everything, and they are sharing how they are trained these AI models.
Okay, thank you. We have 5 minutes left, so we can make a quick Q&A. So are there any questions?
My question will go to Natalia. So just a quick, very operational question, because in the midst of the panel, you mentioned that you are using around 7 tools for your work. So asking for myself, for a friend, yes. What are the tools?
Well, since we are in marketing and sales and we help companies grow, we need to automate their processes. So I'm working on the tools that basically help my clients, but I'm the one operating them because the AI agent is not there yet. So that really depends, but for example, like lots of our clients, of course, they focus on outbound campaigns and you want to make them as efficient as it's possible. So you need to start with the prospecting. So you need to find the right data, right? So there are lots of different tools that are helping you to do that. You have Clay, you're basically scrapping the data. It sounds illegally, but it's completely legal because all the data is on the internet. I mean, it's already out there. If the data is there, you're completely capable of using them, right? Because someone put it there first. And they're usually business-related data, not the consumers. Like I'm talking about B2B segment more. So I'm using Clay, Phantom Buster, Dripify, Snovio. There are like lots of different tools, but they are strictly related to the outbound campaigns. And you can basically automate everything what you want over there until some point, because then they are not trained well to answer to the people who are already answering to your messages. So you still need to be there to like complete the sales cycle. And I think it's still going to take some time for the AI agents or the AI in general to be in that point to answer like and actually complete the whole sales cycle. Like the human still needs to be there, and plus point, clients wants to talk with the actual people. And like for example, like LinkedIn was one of those channels that was really massive, I don't know, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, but it's really changing, and we can see that in market that people like could see that you're automating the messages. Even when they sound like they're not and they're personalized, they could still see that. So it's not really working anymore that much. So probably there will be some, different tool, channel to get to the people, like to talk with B2B segment especially, because the LinkedIn is not that channel anymore. So I'm curious what that's going to be, and we are like in the stage of discovery as well. So,
thank you. I mean, if you could drop a few links after the event, I would appreciate that.
No worries.
Can I add one more thing here, just very quickly? No, not at all. No, not at all. Actually, I have a thesis that in a couple of years, we'll actually have such a business niche where you provide things manually. It will be something like a boutique, services. I can really imagine it. It's going to be much more expensive. But
there are already people who hate chatbots and they want to talk with real agents when they want to, like you're calling someone and you need help with something because you have a problem, and you're like, I don't want to talk with AI. I want to talk with a real person. And there are like less and less real people behind it because they don't want to pay them. So instead of that, they have chatbots. But then the whole world is kind of making a cycle like with this, and like they want to talk with real people. So it's quite funny if you look at it from this perspective.
Do you think there is a market of hand-making software?
No, maybe not software, but graphics, this kind of thing.
In digital space, I'm hands-making it. I'm not using AI.
Yeah, I mean, we do have like part of our things that we're doing for our clients that are actually offline, and we are trying to convince them that, like, for instance, like, you always say that you're gonna hate cold calling, but actually, it's starting to work better again for the B2B companies. So, like, where are we with this?
I mean, I can see that there's a lot of sign on that part. Can I just wrap it up in 10 seconds, if you don't mind?
Yes.
Because also we had very depressive points before regarding the politics and the war and everything. So I just want to see if I can just put everything back there. Guys, just please try to open your eyes, because we're just having our head too down in our phones and everything. We're having minus population growth. Like, we're way below even regenerating our own population, and we're worried that are we going to trust our AIs or not? We're just dying. Like, if you're looking for a genocide, find it here. Like, when you don't have enough population to grow your population back, you're dying. And the only thing that we're thinking how to use AI better, you can't make babies on AI. Like, these are the real problems that we have. Population growth is not a problem that is caused by AI or can be solved by AI. And if you want to go upstairs in the networking, everybody says, what do you do? How do you make money? Are you rich? Are you VC? Nobody says, how are you doing? I'm running a marathon in 2 days, and the whole conversation is around mental health, because that's the real problem, not AI, none of these guys. Like, as long as we are not going to be motivated enough for our life, that I will say that this life is good enough for my kids to be in this life, if the economy is not going to be good enough to go into that direction, I mean, we only have AIs in the next 100 years to even make a decision. We're not even going to be here. And the second thing that I cannot stop myself from not saying, that please read books. Like, this whole AI and stuff is just driving me crazy. Oh my God, summary of a book in 5 minutes, and then you see somebody on social media, I read 2 books per day. I mean, it's like, for real? Like, that's a 700-page book. Like, just the one, this Yuval Noah Harari's book is 700 pages. I recommended it to one of my friends. I was like, I read the book and it was really good. And I was like, what? And I was like, there is this, I don't even remember the name of the application, but it's like a 15-minute like excerpt of the book. Ray Kurzweil had this book called Future is Near. So a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, he literally wrote a whole different book, Future is Near-er. And it's just 2 words in the end. But if you really read the book, he wrote 500 pages. Again, I gave it to another person, said that I think this is getting better. I just want to say that with all of those things, forget about technology a little bit, and sometimes try to be human to human, and then try to talk to each other a little bit less about technology and more about us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the wonderful conversation about technology, its future and our future. So, yeah, thank you.